Oisín's Mother, Chapter 5. For many years after that time, when he was not fighting against the enemies of Ireland, Fionn was searching and hunting through the length and breadth of the country, in the hope that he might again chance on his lovely lady from the Shee. Through all that time he slept in misery each night, and he rose each day in grief. Whenever he hunted, he brought only the hounds that he trusted, Bran and Sciolán, Lemaire, Broge, and Lomu. For if a fawn was chased, each of these 5 great dogs would know if it was a fawn to be killed or one to be protected. And so there was a small danger to Saeve and small hope of finding her. Once, when 7 years had passed in fruitless search, Fionn and the chief nobles of the Fianna were hunting Ben Gulban. All the hounds of the Fianna were out, for Fionn had now given up hope of encountering the Flower of Anne. As the hunt swept along the sides of the hill, there arose a great outcry of hounds from a narrow place high on the slope. And all over the uproar there came the savage baying of Fionn's own dogs. "What is this for?" said Fionn. And with his companions he pressed to the spot whence the noise came from. "They are fighting all the hounds of the Fianna," cried the champion. And they were. The 5 wise hounds were in a circle, and they were giving battle to every dog at once. They were bristling and terrible, and each bite from those great, keen jaws was woe to the beast that received it. Nor did they fight in silence, as was their custom and training, but between each onslaught the great heads were uplifted, and they pealed loudly, mournfully, urgently for their master. "They are calling on me," he roared. And with that he ran as he had only once before ran, and the men who were with him went racing as they would not have run for their lives. They came to the narrow place on the slope of the mountain, and they saw the 5 great hounds in a circle, keeping off the other dogs. And in the middle of the ring was a little boy. He had long, beautiful hair, and he was naked. He was not daunted by the terrible combat and clamour of the hounds. He did not look at the hounds, but he stared like a young prince at Fionn and the champions as they rushed towards him, scattering the pack with the butts of their spears. When the fight was over, Bran and Sciolán ran whining to the little boy and licked his hands. "They do that to no one," said one of the Fianna. "What new master is this they have found?" Fionn bent down to the boy. "Tell me, my little prince and pulse, what your name is, and how you have come into the middle of a hunting pack, and why you are naked." But the boy did not understand the language of the men of Ireland. He put his hand into Fionn's, and the chief felt as if that little hand had been put into his heart. He lifted the lad to his great shoulder. "We have caught something on this hunt," said he to Colcha MacRonan. "We must bring this treasure home. You shall be one of the Fianna, my darling," he called upwards. The boy looked down on him, and in the noble trust and fearless of that regard Fionn's heart melted away. "My little fawn," he said, and he remembered that other fawn. He set the boy between his knee and stared at him earnestly and long. "There is surely the same look," he said to his wakening heart. "That is the very eye of Saeve." The grief flooded out of his heart as at a stroke, and joy foamed into it in one great tide. He marched back singing to the encampment, and the men saw once more the merry chief they had almost forgotten.